Hey everybody, what is up? It is Bully and welcome back to my channel. Whew, okay, we need to talk. We really need to talk. We need to talk, and I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about the Gabby Hannah situation, not specifically about Gabby Hannah, but more specifically about the guy that broke into her house under kind of false premises the other day. You know, I'm sure you're aware by now that Gabby Hannah has been making multiple TikToks, and I have actually just checked in on her as well, and she's still making multiple TikToks. She still seems to be, in the throes of what is either like a psychotic episode, psychotic break, or a manic episode, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not here to diagnose, of course, and it's not my place to speculate about Gabby's mental health. Gabby did, however, just a little while ago say that she's been open about being bipolar. I don't know that I've ever heard Gabby being open about bipolar. I've only ever heard Gabby saying that she has ADHD diagnosis. I've never heard her saying that she has bipolar, but to be fair, maybe I missed it or something. But Gabby aside, she's still, over there making like multiple TikToks where she's throwing the hose around and stuff. I'm worried for her, honestly. But Gabby aside, we're going to talk about this guy called Nick that broke into our house. Or, well, he didn't break in. He went in under false pretenses. Okay, so I think it was either Thursday or Friday, just gone, when Gabby Hannah was, uploading something like 300 TikToks, of course, in a real state, in a real kind of fragile mental state. And there was a guy called Nick who took it upon himself to go over to her house, drive over to her house. He Googled where she lived, drove over to her house, knocked on the door, asked to use the toilet, and Gabby Hannah then let him in. This was so dangerous. Gabby could have been killed. It was really that serious, and it was so dangerous. But she let him in, and ever since then, he, of course, when he got in there, he was filming TikToks in her house. He was going through her meds, all of this stuff that was really inappropriate, right? Then, ever since this whole, him becoming known for going to Gabby Hannah's house, he's been really clout chasing. He's been going live on TikTok a lot. And I've got a clip here of this guy, Nick, going live on TikTok, talking about how he doesn't want to work a 9-to-5 job. He actually only went to Gabby Hannah's house, to check on her. Well, he's still saying that he went to check on her because he was concerned, but really, no. You watch this clip and you'll see he went to check on her because he was clout chasing. He says in this clip very clearly, I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job. I'm going to turn this into something positive for myself. Girl, like, you went into a vulnerable woman's home, a woman who is in a vulnerable mental state, and made it about yourself. Like, this is really sick. This to me is like, he went in there, and now ever since he's come out, all he's done is go live on TikTok talking about the situation and trying to get his followers up. And also, there was a clip of a live that I saw of him in his car, and he was saying, oh, if someone wants to go live with me, they've got to have like X amount of followers. They can't just be any random. And I'm like, dude, who the fuck do you think you are? You are some rando who went into Gabby Hannah's house unannounced, under false pretenses, when she's in a vulnerable mental state. What is clever about that? The internet knows you for being a dick. What is clever about that?
Yeah, I mean, she was rightfully angry, because I just feel like there was no point, like, waiting, because she was waiting, or they, I don't know their pronouns, they were waiting, like...
And see, this is the internet, so if that was me, now people would be attacking me for misgendering them, whether that's true or not, or whether it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, like, they, they waited 45 minutes for that, and I respect them so much for doing it, but I feel like it really got nowhere.
And it's sad because I'm going to move on with my life and I'm going to pivot from this and it's not going to last forever. And the people that are mad are not going to be mad forever. And eventually they'll realize that they wasted their time and I'm going to have to pivot this into something else because I have a life too, and I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. So if I can try to turn a bad situation into something, I don't think that's clout chasing. I just think that's what anybody would do.
Because I have a life too, and I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. So if I can try to turn a bad situation into something, I don't think that's clout chasing. I just think that's what anybody would do.
Wait. I just don't feel like you should be Miss Congeniality.
In given situation. And if I knew the threats and the evil stuff that's being, people are saying enjoy the clout. I'm not enjoying the clout. People, I have to flee my own home and install a security camera. And my parents and my family are scared for their lives, and I don't think that's right, regardless of what people think that I did.
And I don't think it's right either, but honey, right now the situation's not about you.
That's not clout. Having hundreds of death threats a minute and people doxing your families, that's not clout.
It's a horrible form of clout. But to pivot, because it's not about that right now. That's not what we're trying to get out. It's not about you. But
Phone's dying. A lot of people, close friends and things, have been hitting me up throughout this, so I'm gonna have to go pretty shortly here. If there's anything else you want to add.
I feel okay. Yeah.
Quick.
Just, I'm trying to think. We got off topic here.
Public information. Well, show up then. Show up. I beg somebody to show up. I'm begging you. But just like this situation, nobody will. Only somebody like me will, and they'll have good intentions. I beg everyone to show up. I'm not there. Please don't go to my family's house. Leave them out of it. If you really want to do something, come to my house. Come find me. Just like everybody said, public information. Come to my house. Come, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging anyone. But you know what? They won't. Do you know?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go now because that was kind of a lot. It's about a whole other entity, a whole nother person. I didn't get to speak a lot. I thought people were bullshitting when they said that you interrupted them. I'm out. Bye.
I really let people talk, so that's fine. Come to my house. Come. I'll make you some coffee. Maybe we can talk about it. No matter what I do, people are going to say something, so come to my house. Please.
This little boy can't accept the consequences of his actions now. This little boy can't accept that people were kind of, finding out his parents, where they live, all of that, after what he did was seriously inappropriate and dangerous, going up to Gabby Hannah's house, driving to her house and, saying, oh, can I use your toilet? Pretending he didn't know who she was. Like, he's now complaining. He's now got the gall to complain that people have found out where his family live. Like, girl, you can't complain about that. You went to Gabby Hannah's house under false pretenses. So you can't now have an issue with the fact that people on the internet have found out where you live or whatever, because, you've got all these Gabby Hannah fans who are going to be worried about Gabby Hannah, and they are going to do that. They are going to dox you, and plus this guy, Nick, he also doxed Gabby Hannah, her number plate on her car when he was at her house. He put that on TikTok. All these things that you shouldn't put on TikTok, he put it on there. Seriously dangerous. Like, I was worried, like, if somebody can find Gabby Hannah's information from the TikToks that he put out, like, all and sundry are going to be turning up at Gabby's house when she's in this vulnerable state. I've since seen that Gabby Hannah is now on TikTok saying that she's got a card left by the police for, you know, abusing 911, and she's saying that it's not her who's called 911. So I don't know what is going on, if a lot of people are kind of calling police to Gabby Hannah's residence now. I don't know, but I'm not going to talk about Gabby Hannah herself and her situation because, you know, as I said when I made my video on mental health and everything, I don't think it's right to speculate on somebody else's mental state. But that Nick guy, oh my God, that Nick guy, he is a clout chaser, you know. There was no reason for him to go to Gabby Hannah's property at all, you know, under the guise of checking on her. The people that needed to be checking on Gabby were like mental health professionals or her own family and friends, not just some random off the street, you know. And I saw Sebastian Soto talking to that Nick guy. He actually confronted this Nick guy and had him on his channel, confronting him on live. And he said to him, you know, what you've done is dangerous. What you've done is inappropriate. There's no way that you should have gone to Gabby's house and done all that. You know, why were you filming in her house? Why were you putting things on TikTok? It was just dangerous, you know, to put things like Gabby Hannah's car number plate on TikTok, to go through her meds, all of that stuff. Like, it was invasive. It was dangerous. Shouldn't have happened at all. You know, no reason for it to have happened. But this guy, this idiot, took it upon himself to do that. And to me, that's very scary. Very scary. Anything could have happened, you know. Nobody knew what that guy's intentions were, you know, and he was going around on TikTok live filming it and stuff. What goes on in people's heads to think that that is okay? I don't know, but it's scary. Very, very scary. So I'm gonna leave the topic of Gabby Hannah and that Nick person over there. I don't really want to give that Nick person any more kind of clout or attention, to be honest with you. But I'm going to move on to talking about something else, because Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star are in the news again. This time they're in the news because Shane Dawson went on Snapchat. I mean, girl, who still even uses Snapchat? I don't know. I actually had to re-download Snapchat just to go and look at Shane Dawson's Snapchat story for this video. So Shane Dawson was on Snapchat doing a Q&A, which I'm going to pop in here for you so you guys can see. Shane was on Snapchat doing a Q&A, and in the Q&A he was asked about the new series that he's been working on for YouTube, if he's been working with Jeffree Star, and one of the questions he actually answered yes. So I was like, ah.
Hey, how are you? How are you? I'm okay. Do people use background music for their Instagram stories? I'm trying to find music for this part of the video. Ooh. I talk about depression, so I probably shouldn't use something. Thank you. I really don't think I'm using it right. I don't know what to do. I just have been having fun. Q&A? People don't do those, right? Q&As. What is this? 2008? I wish. Tanuki, but now Isabel. But also Tanuki again. I switch off. I do. I have new merch actually up right now. ShaneDawsonMerch.com. I would show it to you, but I don't know how to add a picture. I'll figure it out. Oh, thank you. Our dog's name is Riley. We named her Harley, but that only lasted for a day. And then we thought maybe we should name our kid Harley. But then, I don't know, because we change our minds a lot. But her name is Riley. And it'll stay Riley. Unless you think of a better one. It's a mole. It's been there forever. But I've tried to pop it, for real. And it just bleeds. Happy Friday. New podcast on September 5th. Sorry, I took an editing break from the podcast to focus on the series. And then I just took a series break to focus on the pizza that I just ate. Happy Friday. Oh, that is bright. Hi, Grace. Is that a little teacup? That's cute. It involved... Well, it started as nothing. Then it turned into something. Then it turned into really something. And now I don't know what to do with it in a good way. I'm excited. It involves something I never thought I'd be able to actually like talk about. So I'm excited. We'll see. Oh, thank you. Okay, this actually just motivated me. I need to go back and start editing again because I took a break tonight. But thank you. I appreciate that so much. And I'm really excited about editing something like this again because it's my favorite thing ever. And I look like I'm crying. It's because I was. Happy birthday, Annabella. I would sing, but you don't want that. So, that's your present. A lot of therapy. A lot of not looking at my phone. And getting closer to family. And why do I keep going? Good question. No, I just like making stuff. The memory you just unlocked. Wow. Jacqueline Boo Boo. You really just did some. All right, well, thank you guys for all the questions. I'm going to go back to editing my new video series, whatever it is. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. If you have any other questions, let me know. Put them somewhere. Here. You know how to use this app. I don't.
So it seems like this Shane Dawson series is really going to be a thing, and I'm really excited. I genuinely do think that what it's going to be is probably like an update of everything that happened since the last series with Jeffree Star, because of course Shane did a series with Jeffree Star 4 years ago. And in that series, they were talking about making a palette, and Shane was kind of half joking, but Jeffree was serious. And then 2 years after their first series, they made another series where it was all about making the conspiracy palette and, all that good stuff. So I actually went back and watched the series that was making the conspiracy palette yesterday. And I just kind of clicked on one episode after another. I was watching them all and I was like, wow, this seems like ages ago now, but so much has happened since Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson made that series 2 years ago. Both of them effectively got cancelled. So I think that Shane Dawson will now come up with a series that's going to be about what happened since they got cancelled and all that stuff. I say they got cancelled, but they were never really cancelled to me. People who get cancelled, whatever, they're always still going to have fans and all that stuff. I'm one of the people who's always going to be there as a fan of Jeffree and Shane. Sometimes I might talk about things that they do, but I'm a fan at the end of the day. So Shane Dawson coming back with another series, and I really think it's going to be all about what's happened since making of Conspiracy. I really do, because if you go back to the making of the Conspiracy series with Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, if you go back to that series, episode, I want to say episode 2 that I was on, or was it 3? But one of the episodes, it was either episode 2 or episode 3. Actually, no, I think it was episode 2. Okay, so I think it was episode 2, but there was a moment in that where it was Jeffree and Shane at the getting ready to go to the Morphe meet and greet. So I just checked it, right? It was the Jeffree Star meet and greet that was for the Jeffree Star X Morphe brushes. These ones, the pink kind of crystally brushes. It was the Jeffree Star X Morphe brushes collaboration meet and greet where Jeffree Star had gone and Jeffree and Shane were just about to start working on the palette at that time, the conspiracy palette. And Jeffree actually invited Shane on this trip that was him doing a Morphe meet and greet. So Shane Dawson went along with Jeffree, and as they were getting ready in the hotel room, there was conversation about marriage, and I was like, okay. So I watched it back. There was conversation about how Shane Dawson was getting engaged to Ryland at the time. And now, isn't it funny that we've just had the Jeffree Star wedding palette come out? And all of a sudden, I was like, flashback to the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star series, Making of Conspiracy. They're in the hotel getting done up to go to Morphe, and they were joking about having a double wedding. Of course, now I don't think that Jeffree Star is getting married, but they were joking back then about having a double wedding because at the time Jeffree was with Nathan and you had Shane who was just proposing to Ryland. I was like, oh, interesting. Also, in that third episode of the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star series, you had Shane Dawson being kind of cancelled on Twitter for the whole cat controversy. Girl, we all remember that. So Shane Dawson was being cancelled for the cat controversy. Then you had the robbery at Jeffree Star's warehouse, where it was one shade of his new concealer that hadn't been released yet that got stolen. And I remember this. That was the shade C5 in his concealer, the Magic Star concealer, these ones that got stolen. A whole like box of these or whatever, the whole entire shade C5 got stolen. And that product hadn't even been launched yet. That product was actually 2 months away from launch. And what happened? It got stolen. You know, one shade of it got stolen. Now, people have speculated that this was some kind of publicity stunt because it was, you know, close to the launch of the concealer. And also they were filming the series at the same time. People have speculated that it was some kind of publicity stunt. I mean, all I know is that I remember seeing a lady on Instagram who she literally had like a box of these concealers. She had a whole entire box of them and she was selling them on IG Live. I saw it at the time and I was gobsmacked. People at the time thought that whole stolen concealer story was made up or fabricated because Jeffree Star had said one thing in the series about how the robbers came in through the ceiling and they turned all the security cameras round so that they couldn't actually see what had happened during the robbery. But what had been taken was a lot of the shade C5, the whole entire stock of the shade C5 in the Magic Star concealer, a lot of Blue Blood palettes, which he was just about to launch as well. A lot of those have been stolen. So what actually happened, we don't know. But Jeffree Star said that it was like millions of pounds worth of stock that had been stolen. Then it was weird because then it actually turned out that it was something like £10,000 worth of stock or $10,000 worth of stock, not millions. So Jeffree's story was kind of contradictory, and that's why people thought it was all made up. That's why people thought it was a publicity stunt. Even at the time, people were saying, oh, that's a little bit suspect. You know, isn't it funny how there's this drama going on while, you know, the conspiracy palette is about to come out and everything. People thought it was a little bit suspect then. But if you look back now, it does look quite suspect. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it looks suspect. What I found really, really interesting going back and watching that series was that there's a moment in that series where Shane Dawson is talking about having been cancelled over this cat controversy on Twitter. Shane Dawson starts going, oh, I'll do what Jeffree Star does. He starts saying, I'm going to learn from Jeffree. And what he says next is really quite telling, because Shane said, I'm going to learn from Jeffree. I'm going to use the drama to my advantage. And I promise you that is in there. You can go back and see that on the series. Shane Dawson saying, I'm going to learn from Jeffree Star and use this drama as marketing to sell palettes. That is exactly what Shane Dawson said. So if that isn't proof that Jeffree Star doesn't use this kind of outrage marketing and drama to sell palettes, then I don't know what is. You know, I've kind of been seeing it for a while that what Jeffree Star does is use the drama to sell his palettes because he thinks it works. I mean, is it working now? I don't know. I think that nowadays people are a little bit more kind of fed up of the drama, and it's been too much drama, and the beauty community has kind of had overload with drama. But I don't think it's helping sell palettes now. But at the time, it's really interesting that Shane Dawson actually said, and it's on camera in the series, Shane Dawson actually saying, I'm going to learn from Jeffree Star and I'm going to use this controversy of me being cancelled on Twitter to sell palettes. Genius or cash grab? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to end this video here. I mean, I might go into more kind of Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson stuff, if that is of interest to you guys. But I'm going to leave this video right here. I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well, and I will see you soon on the next one. Thank you for watching. I know this one's been a bit longer. Bye. Take care.